Pack your things and leave my house. I've had enough. Please, Daniel, don't do this to me. I have nowhere else to go. You should have thought about that before destroying your womb. I want you out today." Daniel never imagined he would one day be the one washing plates in his own house, or his mother on her knees, bent over the floor, scrubbing the tiles with a hard brush. The same woman who had once boasted that her son would never lack respect as long as she lived. The shame did not just burn his skin. It settled in his bones. Part of him wanted to fling the plate down, wipe his hands and shout that this was not his fault, that Amanda was wicked, that she had changed, that she had bewitched them. It would have been easier if the story started with her. But every time he opened his mouth in his mind to curse her, another picture rose before him like smoke he could not wave away. Welcome to African Folktales. Before Amanda, there was Nneka. Before this humiliation, there was a seed he had planted with his own hands. He remembered the early days when men clapped him on the back and said, "You have sense, you married well." When his mother walked around like a queen, telling anyone who cared to listen, "My daughter-in-law is very decent, she knows her place." Back then, Daniel had everything he thought mattered. A good job in town, sharp clothes, a car he polished every Saturday, and at home, a wife whose biggest compliment was that she did not talk too much. Her name was Nneka. People did not use big shining words for her. They called her decent, quiet, well-trained, the kind of woman who could move around a house without making noise. The kind of wife mothers prayed for and men bragged about. Nneka had not entered Daniel's life with fire. She had come like soft rain, gentle, steady, easy to ignore until it soaks everything. She was not the kind of woman people pointed at in a crowd. She had a round, soft face, warm chocolate brown skin, kind eyes that always seemed to be listening. Her body was full, arms round, hips generous, stomach not flat but not careless either. She walked with the cautious confidence of someone who had been trained not to overdo. At their traditional wedding, she tied her wrapper carefully, Jill sitting just right, beads resting on her chest. People hugged her and said, "You are blessed." But their real praise was reserved for Daniel. "You chose well," his uncles told him, slapping his back. "This one looks homely." His friends smiled. "Guy, you know Miss Road, no drama." Mama Daniel beamed with pride. "She's not like these new generation girls," she told her fellow women. "She's respectful. She knows her place. She's not too forward." Nneka heard it all. The way they praised her like a quiet piece of furniture and smiled politely, even as something inside her folded smaller with each comment. Still, she believed marriage would be a soft place. Daniel was not a shouter. He did not break things. He didn't slam doors. In church and at family events, he was the man who opened doors for his wife, who carried plates, who smiled and said, "My dear," in a gentle tone. To outsiders, he was a good man. It was inside, in the small spaces, that his words started cutting. It began like a joke. One evening, 2 months after the wedding, Nneka was getting dressed for a friend's baby dedication. She stood in front of the mirror, adjusting the sleeve of her Ankara gown. The fabric hugged her arms and settled around her hips in a way that made her feel womanly. Daniel walked in, phone in his hand, and paused behind her. "You're adding weight," he said, half laughing. "You better be careful before you turn to my Auntie Rose." Nneka's eyes met her reflection. Her cheeks were fuller, her waist softer. She had always been on the plump side, but now it was more obvious. "It's just small," she replied lightly. "I'll watch it." "I don't like fat women," he added, still focused on his phone. "I've told you before." He didn't look up to see how her smile collapsed. That night, long after he started snoring, she lay awake on her back, fingers pressing into her stomach, shifting from side to side, measuring herself with invisible hands. "If he doesn't like it, I'll change." Not because she was unhappy with herself, but because she was afraid of losing him. The comments didn't stop. In the morning, when she reached for a second slice of bread, he would say, on, you want to eat again. That's why your tummy is big." When his cousin visited, he joked carelessly, "If you see the way Nneka eats rice, Ain, you'll fear pot." They laughed. She laughed too, because what else could she do in that moment? Later, in the kitchen washing plates, she blinked hard to stop the tears from falling into the soapy water. The day he compared her to another woman, something inside her cracked. A friend's wife had come visiting. Slim waist, fitted dress, everything in place. After she left, Daniel dropped into the chair and shook his head. "You see, Chuka's wife," he said. "That's how a woman should look, sharp, not all this extra here and there." He waved his hand vaguely in her direction as if her body was a problem he was tired of describing. "So I'm not sharp?" Neka asked, voice low. "Don't start," he replied. "I'm just telling you the truth. If you like, here. If you like, don't. I've talked my own." Later, his mother added her own knife. "One thing I don't like," Mama said one Sunday after church, adjusting her scarf, "is women that spread. Before you know it, they are everywhere. Watch it, oh, don't disgrace my son." Neka smiled weakly and nodded, her heart quietly absorbing every word like a sponge taking in dirty water. When 1 year passed and no pregnancy came, the body talk turned into suspicion. Their eyes shifted from her hips to her stomach, then to heaven, then back to her. And that was when the real danger, the pills, the tea, the desperate need to shrink herself for love, slipped into her life. Neka did not wake up one day and decide to destroy herself. It happened cup by cup, pill by pill, day by day. The first time she saw the slimming pills was in the market. She had gone to buy tomatoes, wrapper tied tight around her waist, the afternoon sun burning her neck. As she leaned over a basket checking for rotten ones, someone called her name. "Neka," she turned. An old schoolmate from secondary school stood there, slim in fitted jeans and a bright top, waist snatched, makeup neat. "Ah, wife." The woman laughed, hugging her. "Marriage is enjoying you. You've added, oh," Neka forced a smile. "Marriage will still enjoy you too," they chatted. Then the woman's eyes dropped to Neka's stomach, lingering there a little too long. "You know," she said, lowering her voice, "if your husband is the type that likes them slim, I sell something original. No, wait." She brought out her phone, scrolling through before and after pictures, women with round faces becoming sharper, thick waists turning narrow. "I'm the one that supplied this one," she said proudly. "Just small money. 2 weeks you will see change." Neka swallowed. "Is it safe?" she asked. The woman laughed. "Look at me. Am I dead? My sister, men are wicked. If you don't package yourself, they will use it against you. Imagine your husband comparing you with another woman in front of you. Can you take it?" The memory stung. Chuka's wife, sharp, not like you. Daniel's voice casual and careless. "If you don't adjust," her friend added, voice dropping, "don't be surprised when one small girl starts greeting you. 'Good afternoon, madam, own parlor.'" The words cut. By the time Neka left the market, tomatoes sat on top of something else in her nylon. Bottles of pills and flat tummy tea sachets, wrapped carefully in black nylon, hidden from the world. She hid them in their wardrobe under folded clothes. Every morning before Daniel woke up, she would sneak into the kitchen. She'd pour water, swallow one pill, drink bitter tea, squeeze her face, and whisper, "This is for us. For my marriage, for you." The label said, "Expect slight dizziness." Sometimes it was more than slight. Some days when she stood up, the room tilted. Other days her lower belly burned like someone had tied it with a hot rope. Once Daniel caught her leaning against the kitchen wall, hand pressed to her abdomen. "What is it again?" he asked, irritation already in his voice. "I'm just tired," she replied, forcing a smile. He shook his head, picking up his car keys. "You don't even do much in this house. Still, you're always tired. Try and be strong small." He left. She slid down the wall slowly, holding her stomach, breathing through the pain. The weight dropped, her skirts loosened, her face looked slimmer. Neighbors smiled. "You're looking fine, oh," they told her. "Marriage is now shaping you." She would laugh small, hiding the pills in her wardrobe and the fire in her womb. Even Daniel noticed. One evening she walked out in a fitted gown that hadn't zipped in months. He looked up from his phone and paused. "This dress fits you now," he said. "You see, when I talk, you people think I'm wicked, but look at you." He never asked what it cost. That night he slept with his arms slung over her waist, satisfied. When he drifted off, Neka lay awake, a sharp line of pain burning across her lower belly. The fall came quietly. One morning, while brushing her teeth, the sink blurred. The tiles moved. Her body felt far away. The next thing she knew, she was on the floor, toothbrush beside her, Daniel's angry voice shouting her name. At the hospital, the walls were too white, the light too bright. "Any medication?" the doctor asked. "Just vitamins," she whispered. When the test results came, he called them into his office. "There has been serious damage to the womb," he said gently. "Scarring, inflammation, it will be very difficult to conceive naturally. We suspect some strong, unregulated medication, something from the market, perhaps." The room went silent. Daniel turned to her slowly, eyes hardening. "What did you take?" he asked. Neka's voice shook. "I was only trying to adjust. For you," she said. "You used your hand to damage yourself," he cut in. "In my house." The doctor tried to calm them, but the words had already landed. On the way home, he drove in silence. No, we'll adopt. No, we'll try treatment. No, we'll pray. Only his jaw clenched. 2 nights later, she was on her knees in the sitting room. His mother stood over her. "You blocked your own womb and you want to tie my son down," Mama said, voice sharp. "God forbid, start packing your things." Neka looked at Daniel, searching for something. Mercy, conflict, love. All she saw was decision. "This is for the best," he said. That was how the first woman left that house. Not because God closed her womb, but because she tried to shrink herself into the kind of woman Daniel thought he deserved. And somewhere in a place no one could see, life quietly took note. After Neka left, the house felt bigger. Not because it truly was, but because silence takes space. Her slippers were gone from the corner. Her wrapper no longer hung on the bathroom door. Her laugh no longer floated from the kitchen. For a short time, Daniel felt relief. No more quiet crying, no more hospital visits, no more talk of what next. He told himself he had done the reasonable thing. She damaged her womb, she left, simple, clean. When people asked, he said, "We had issues." When his mother's friends pushed, Mama answered for him. "Some women are not serious," she said. "My son cannot be carrying empty womb forever. God will give him a better one." So Daniel stayed single and selective. He rejected loud girls. He avoided women who asked too many questions. He told his friends, "I just want a calm wife, somebody that will listen. No stress." He met Amanda at a work training in Victoria Island. While other women laughed, raised their hands, dragged chairs, and snapped selfies in the break, Amanda was the one at the back of the room, listening, taking notes in a small, neat handwriting. Her hair sat in a simple bun. Her dress was fitted but decent, not shouting. When people joked, she smiled. When they argued, she watched. Calm, he thought, well-trained. At lunch, he sat across from her. "You don't talk much," he said. She looked up, met his eyes for a second, then back at her food. "I choose when to talk." The answer pleased him. To Amanda, it was just the truth. To Daniel, it sounded like obedience. What he didn't know was that she had once talked too much with the wrong people. Years before, in a Face Me I Face You compound in Surulere, she had cooked for a boyfriend, washed his clothes and his mother's clothes, swept corridors that were not hers, all because they called her our wife. She had believed them, given her time, money, and pride, until the day she saw wedding invitation cards on the table with another woman's name printed in gold. The same mother who used to call her "my daughter" had helped the son marry someone else. Amanda had not screamed that day. She had folded her hurt neatly like wrapper and put it somewhere deep in her chest. Never again. So with Daniel, she moved carefully. She listened more than she spoke. She let him complain about modern women and nodded, filing away every complaint like information in a secret folder. "I'm not difficult," she said one evening during their courtship, sipping malt through a straw. "I can see that," he replied, satisfied. He never asked why she had decided not to be difficult. Their wedding was smaller than his first, but the script was the same. "You chose well this time," his uncle said. "This one looks calm." Mama Daniel hovered like a supervisor. "She's not like the former one," she told her friends. "This one is sharp but quiet. She will be obedient." On the wedding night, as Amanda stepped over the threshold of the flat, a familiar heaviness settled in her chest. Different house, different man, same energy. A mother who liked control, a man who liked calm. Only this time she was not entering empty-handed. She brought her past, her sense, her memory of being used and discarded. She smiled, said, "Yes, Ma," unpacked her box and watched. The training started quickly, 3 days in. Mama opened the fridge and counted pieces of meat. "Amanda," she called, "how many meat did you cook?" 10, Ma. 10 for what? Are we feeding the street?" Mama snapped. In this house we used to manage, you young girls don't know how to keep home, be careful." That night Daniel added his own instruction. "Mom doesn't like waste," he said. "Tell her before you use things, even money, she knows how I spend." Amanda looked at him. "So your mother will be monitoring our money?" she asked. "It's my money," he replied. "And she knows me, it's not a big deal." From then the house rearranged itself around their idea of her. Amanda cooked, washed, cleaned, did market runs. Mama double-checked receipts. Daniel asked, "Did you tell Mom before you used that?" And always floating in the background like a ghost was the first wife. "The former one never argued," Mama would say loudly. "Very obedient. It's just unfortunate she destroyed herself. If she had sense, she would still be here." Amanda would keep her face calm, but her fingers would tighten around her spoon. "Destroyed herself. Is that how you told the story?" One afternoon, standing at the balcony, a neighbor filled in the missing parts. "Ah, that former wife suffered," the woman said. "They body-shamed her till she drank rubbish. When she fell ill, they chased her like dog." Amanda listened quietly, something cold settling inside her. That night, lying next to Daniel as he scrolled his phone, she looked at his profile and thought, if this marriage is about control, you picked the wrong woman. This time, somebody will not leave empty-handed. The words did not pass her lips yet. They waited. They waited for the day Mama would cross one line too many. For the day Daniel's voice would slip from correcting to full disrespect. For the day Amanda's mouth would finally open, and all the "yes, Ma" would turn to something sharp. That day came sooner than anybody in that house expected. And when it came, it did not come quietly. Argument that changed everything started with meat. It wasn't the first tension. It was just the one that snapped the last thread. Amanda had cooked a full meal. Jollof rice, stew, fried plantain. She dished plates, 2 pieces of meat for Daniel, 2 for Mama, 2 for herself. Balance, no favoritism. As she set the plates on the center table, Mama's eyes went straight to Daniel's portion. "Is that the meat you gave my son?" she asked. "Yes, Ma, 2 pieces," Amanda replied. Mama sucked her teeth. "Too small meat for a man that goes out to hustle. In this house before you came, Daniel used to eat like a king. Now look, ordinary meat. You're managing him like baby." She stood, marched into the kitchen, opened the pot, and added extra to Daniel's plate. "A man in his own house," she muttered loudly. "And he cannot eat well because of one stingy Lagos girl. The former wife never tried this." The words hit Amanda like a slap. Former wife, stingy Lagos girl. That night when she expected Daniel to at least say, "Mom, be careful," he didn't. Instead, in the bedroom, as he undressed, he said, "Next time don't embarrass me with small meat, it made you look wicked." Amanda stared at him. "I embarrass you?" she asked quietly. "Because I gave you the same portion I gave myself," he shrugged, scrolling his phone. "You heard Mom, don't act like you don't know how things are done here." Something inside her shifted from hurt to decision. "Okay," she said. "Noted." He didn't like that word. It sounded too much like closure. 3 days later, the real explosion came in the kitchen over oil and rice. Words flew. Old wounds opened. Mama shouted, "This girl will destroy your life." Daniel barked, "If you're tired, go to your father's house and rest." And Amanda, chest heaving, finally fired the line that had been burning in her throat for weeks. "If this marriage is about control, you picked the wrong woman." The house went silent. From that evening they thought she would start packing, that she would be like Nneka, cry, kneel, beg, leave. She did none of those. For 2 days she moved quietly, cooked, cleaned, answered when spoken to, but her eyes were cold now and her smile had died. "You see," Daniel told his mother, "she's calming down." "She must," Mama replied. "A woman's pride melts when she meets a firm hand." They did not know she had already made a different call, to Ty. Ty, the careful friend who had once told her on a balcony under hot Lagos night air, "If you don't learn sense in this life, people will use you and still blame you." In a small backshop behind containers, Ty opened a biscuit tin and brought out small tied nylons. "This thing bends will," she warned. "It makes people soft in the head, agree when they shouldn't. It doesn't always stop where you want it to stop." Amanda's voice did not shake. "I just want them to feel helpless. A little taste of what they give women in this house. They want obedience," she said. "Let them enjoy it." The first pinch went into Daniel's soup. He didn't notice. He just ate, sighed deeper, and for the first time since she entered that house, insisted on washing plates himself. "Mom, leave it," he said when Mama protested. "She's tired." Amanda felt something cold crawl down her spine. Then came Mama's turn. A pinch in her stew here, another there, not every day, just enough. The changes were small at first. Daniel's temper flattened. Mama's tongue lost its sharpness. "Why did you became okay, no problem? Who told you to became if that's how you want it?" Soon, Amanda's suggestions became instructions. "Mama, please help me sweep the corridor. My back is paining me," she said one morning. The woman opened her mouth to complain, then closed it again. "Bring broom," she muttered. "Mama, scrub this sitting room well." "I don't want stain," Amanda said on another day, settling on the couch, and Mama did it on her knees in fine Ankara lace, sweat on her forehead. Daniel watched once, frowned as if confused, then focused on his phone. As the weeks passed, Amanda moved beyond chores. She moved into his business. "Let me help you with these accounts," she suggested gently one night, resting a hand on his shoulder. "You're stressed. I studied accounting, remember." His passwords entered her phone. His banking apps moved to her hands. "Help me pay this thing" became her doorway to his savings. She redirected tenants' rent to a new account. She helped him sign documents that shifted property away from his name. She advised Mama to go home and rest from Lagos dust, promising regular upkeep from money she knew would never come from Daniel again. By the time she stopped using the powder, everything important had already moved. The day his head truly cleared, Daniel woke to a restless heaviness. Little things irritated him. His shirt felt too tight. His phone felt too light. He opened his banking app, then another and another. His throat went dry. "Amanda," he shouted, "did you touch anything in these accounts?" She was in the sitting room, folding clothes into a traveling bag. "Which accounts?" she asked calmly. "Don't joke with me," he snapped, walking out, phone in hand. "Where is my money? Why are my balances like this? Where is the savings, the fixed deposit, the rent?" She looked up at him, eyes steady. For the first time since he met her, he saw no softness there, only a cold, tired clarity. "The same place Neka's womb went," she said quietly. "Into the cost of satisfying you." He stared. "What are you talking about?" "You played God with her life," Amanda replied. "You and your mother, you body shamed her into poison. Then when it damaged her, you called her empty and threw her away." He flinched. No one had ever said it so plainly. "I found her, Daniel," she continued. "I saw where she lives now. I saw how she laughs with her hand over her stomach, still ashamed of what she can't fix. Some of your money is there now, call it refund. The rest is mine, for time, for insult, for labor." "You bewitched me," he whispered. "You did something to us for a while," she agreed. "The way you all twisted Neka, the difference is I'm not pretending it was love. I know what I did, do you?" He moved toward her, hand outstretched. "Amanda, we can fix this, just bring." She stepped back. "Don't touch me," she said. "I'm not Neka. I won't kneel and beg you to see my value. I came in here with sense. I'm leaving with my sense and your lesson." He looked around properly. Then the TV gone, sound system gone, some chairs missing, new curtains cheaper, and Echo lived where his pride used to sit. "By the time your mother comes back from the village," Amanda said softly, lifting her bag, "this house will be a story. You will tell her, once upon a time we made a woman feel small here, and she will sit on this floor and remember." She stepped out. The door shut with a small final sound that still managed to shake the walls in the silence that followed. Daniel stood alone in the half-empty sitting room, phone in his hand, apps open, numbers read, no wife, no savings, no mother to defend him, just a man facing his harvest. In marriage, obedience is not slavery, and a wife is not a dumping ground for a man's ego. When you use body shamming, comparison, and emotional pressure to destroy one woman's life and feel justified, you are only planting a seed you will one day harvest. Because power can shift. And the same kind of woman you dismissed as nothing today may be the one life uses tomorrow to humble you, empty your comfort, and remind you that a human being is not an object you can use and throw away.